Very good evening to all the participants. I hope all the participants are able to hear me. Thank you so much. So some of the participants having some issues to log in. I hope all the participants are now able to log into system. Thank you. So all the participants able to hear me loud and clear. I hope all the participants able to hear me loud and clear. Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank all the participants to join today's session. So in today's session, I would like to take a 60 minutes session on the introduction to SAP HANA S4 HANA. So why we need to use SAP HANA S4 HANA? Why SAP HANA S4 HANA is very popular, and there are more than 60,000 implementations have gone live. What is the reason behind it? And by 2020, there will be close to 3 lakh implementations implemented based on SAP HANA S4 HANA platform. So in this session, we will briefly discuss about the introduction to SAP HANA S4 HANA, what kind of landscapes customers are implementing to implement the new solution and the next generation platform, that is SAP HANA S4 HANA platform. So to introduce about myself before I start the session, so my name is Arjun Reddy. I've been into SAP for 13 years. Close to 6 years in SAP HANA and almost close to 2 years in the S4 HANA platform. So that's a very brief introduction about myself. So this session will last for 60 minutes. So tomorrow also we have the continuation of today's session at the same time. So the session will start at 9:30 to 10:30. Tomorrow also we have the continuation session. So to start with today's session, so first of all, what is HANA S4 HANA platform? What is SAP HANA and S4 HANA? Now, I'll take a very simple example. For example, let's say we have a table. It's a very simple table consisting of 4 columns. So in this table you have data related to customers. So in this table you have data related to customers. These customers are purchasing what products, what is the amount, and what is the quantity. So it's a very simple table. So the volume of data that you have in this table is more than 2 trillion records. So you have about 2 trillion records in this table. And we are asking a very simple question. Who is my top 5 customers? My top 5 customers. So in order to get the answer for such a simple question, for who are my top customers, when a table has 4 columns and the volume of data that you have in this table is more than 2 trillion records. So is the voice okay? Because I just got a message my voice is breaking. The voice is okay for all the participants, or is it breaking? All the participants feel comfortable? Is it loud and clear? Thank you. Thank you so much. I think it is the problem on the participant side. Okay. So my question is very simple. So you have a table with 4 columns, and the volume of data that you have in this table is 2 trillion records. And you're asking a very simple question, who is my top 5 customers? Now to get this answer, on an MS SQL, it takes more than 6 hours. In SAP HANA and the S4 HANA, the next generation platform, it only takes about 6 seconds. In MS SQL, it takes 6 hours, and here it is taking only 6 seconds. Now the question here is, why SAP HANA S4 HANA is extremely high performance? Now what is the reason? Now the next generation platform is extremely high performance. What is the reason behind it? The reason is SAP HANA S4 HANA, it's basically a in-memory DB. It's a in-memory application platform. It's an in-memory application platform. The second one, it's a column-oriented. And the third one, it does a massively parallel processing. So the new SAP HANA S4 HANA, the next generation platform from SAP, it's in memory. It is column orientation, and it does massively parallel processing. Now, what is in memory? What do you mean by in memory platform? So in memory platform means in memory platform means a platform in which complete application is directly stored in RAM. The application completely operates in memory. Now normally where does it operate? Normally if you see, it operates on disk. It operates in disk, but here it completely operates in RAM. Now why SAP started to operate in memory? What is the reason that SAP operates in RAM? The reason is, the first reason is, now RAM is close to CPU or disk is close to the CPU? Now obviously RAM is close to CPU. Now is it better to get the application data from memory or from disk? Always it is better from memory. So SAP HANA S4 HANA platform is designed in such a way, it's completely stored in RAM. Now what is the advantage of storing data in RAM? It is 100,000 times faster in processing data. So when you have the application platform running in RAM, there are two advantages. One is data is kept close to the CPU, and the second advantage is it's 100,000 times faster in processing data. Now, what is column orientation? Now, why the new and the next generation platform stored data in column orientation? So what is the difference between storing data in row and storing data in column? What is the difference? Let me try to explain. So if you see a table, let's say a table consisting of 4 columns. For example, customer, product, what is the amount, and what is the quantity. For example, let's say you're trying to insert one record. Let's say you're inserting one record like a C01, M01, amount is 100, and quantity is 10, for example. Now, when you insert a record in a table, when you try to insert a row inside a table, now this row stores in the backend file. So in the backend file, so you have a file in the backend where the complete row is stored over there. Now coming to the second one, C02, M02, I'm just trying to insert the second row, 220. So when you insert the second row, now what system does, even the second row is over here. So the complete data is dumped into a single file. So system is trying to dump the entire data into a single file. So what is the disadvantage of this approach? So the disadvantages of this approach is, let's say you're asking a question, who is my top customer based on amount? So here you're asking a question, who is the top customer based on amount? So who is the top customer? C02 based on 200, because amount is 200. Now, the system can only go to the customer column and amount column. But what system is trying to do over here? It is trying to scan. It's trying to scan the entire table and give the output saying that C02 200 is the top customer. So the disadvantage of storing data in a row orientation. So what is the disadvantage of storing data in row orientation? It has to scan the entire table. It has to scan the entire table irrelevant of the question. So what SAP started to do is they started to store data in a column-oriented fashion. So what is the advantage when you store data in a column-oriented fashion? Let us take the same table. Let us take the same table. Now what SAP started to do is, now what they have done is, now instead of dumping the entire data into a single file, they started to store each column's data in a separate file. So what I'm trying to explain here is the basic fundamentals of SAP HANA S4 HANA. So why this platform is extremely high performance? The first reason is completely data operates in RAM and data is kept close to CPU. And the second one, what I'm trying to explain here is, normal SAP systems store data in a row orientation. So when you store data in row orientation, the entire data is dumped into a single file. For any question that you ask, it has to scan the entire file. But in a column orientation, what it does is, now each column's data is stored in a separate file. For example, how many columns we have? 4 columns. So it generates 4 files. So in here you have 4 files. So the first file is the customer file. The second one is the product. Third one is amount. And fourth one is quantity. So in the customer file, how many values you have? You have C01, C02. On the product, you have M01, M02. Amount, you have 100, 200. And quantity, we have 10 and 20. So let us ask the same question again. I'm asking the same question again. Who is the top customer based on amount? Now this time, what system does is, it only goes to customer column, it skips product, it goes to quantity and goes to amount and skips quantity. So what advantage do you find over here? The advantage over here is it need not scan the entire table. It only goes to specific columns that are requested by the user. So whatever the columns are requested, it only goes to those columns, skipping the other columns. So what advantage do you find here? It takes shortcut to data. In row, it has to scan the data in a single file, but when you store data in a column-oriented fashion, each column's data is stored in a separate file, so it only goes to relevant files when you ask a question. It need not scan the entire file. Okay. So, why SAP HANA? So, I started the session asking a simple question. We have a table with 2 trillion records. You're asking a very simple question. Who is my top 5 customers? Now, in SAP S4 HANA, it only takes 6 seconds. Whereas in other RDBMS, it takes more than 6 hours. I was trying to explain why in-memory, why column orientation, and third one is parallel processing. Now, how a parallel processing can help in extremely high performance about the new platform. So what a parallel processing does? Let me explain what a parallel processing does. For example, now normally you know when you have a complex program, now these complex programs are processed in CPU, central processing unit. CPU is nothing but the central processing unit. So in CPU what do you have? In CPU we have multiple cores. Now what is a core? A core is nothing but CPU inside a CPU. So in a CPU you have 4 core, nothing but it is called as quad core CPU. Core 1, core 2, core 3 and core 4. So in a CPU you have a quad core CPU. In a quad core CPU, what it does, it breaks these complex programs. It breaks these complex programs into smaller subsets, and each subset of a program is assigned to different core of a CPU. So each part is assigned to different core of a CPU. Now each core will process individual, it will try to process the individual parts. Finally, the result is assembled. Result assembly is done and given back to the user interface. Now this is nothing but massively parallel processing. So in massively parallel processing, what happens? The complete program is broken down to smaller subsets, and each subset of a program is assigned to a different core of a CPU. Now this is done using, in SAP HANA it does using SQL script. Now if you take the normal SAP, it processes using ABAP. So when you process in ABAP, when you process this in ABAP, what happens? One core will try to process the entire program. Now this is in ABAP. It does sequential processing. One core will try to process the entire program. Now this is in sequential processing. So in SAP HANA S4 HANA platform, all the cores are utilized to break into smaller chunks, process, assemble, and give back to the user. So what I'm trying to explain until now, if anyone asks you a question, what is HANA S4 HANA? A very simple answer. It's a in-memory, it is a column orientation, and it does massively parallel processing. Okay, so this is nothing but a very basic answer of what SAP HANA S4 HANA. So, but when you're working on a project as a HANA S4 HANA consultant, now what we have to do? So when you're working on the HANA S4 HANA projects, what is that we need to do? Now here, there are two kinds of scenarios. One scenario is known as sidecar scenario. It is known as sidecar. And the other scenario is known as main car scenario. So you have two scenarios, sidecar and main car. Now, what is sidecar and what is main car? What is the difference between a sidecar scenario and a main car scenario? For example, now you know most of the customers have already implemented SAP systems. Now, whether you have implemented SAP or you have implemented a non-SAP. Now, in the customer landscape, you find SAP as well as non-SAP systems. Now, what is that you would like to do now? Now, I would like to implement a new solution, that is HANA S4 HANA platform. I would like to implement a new solution called HANA S4 HANA. So this is the new and the next generation platform. So in order to migrate from an existing SAP or from a non-SAP system to the new platform, what we need to do? What is the first thing that we need to do? The first thing that we need to do is we need to do data provisioning. We need to execute the data provisioning. Now, what is data provisioning? What do we mean by data provisioning? So is the voice is breaking, all the participants? Because I just got a message, my voice is breaking. Is it so? My voice is breaking. Is it clear? It's clear. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is when a customer has an SAP, when a customer has an SAP and a non-SAP system, now he would like to go for a new platform, that is HANA S4 HANA platform. Now what is that we need to do? So the first thing that we need to do is do the data provisioning. Now what do we mean by data provisioning? Data provisioning means to move data from source. So you have to move data from source to target. So basically you need to move these objects from source system to target system. Okay, so how do you move this? So how can you move from source to target? You can move using SLT. Now what is SLT? SLT stands for SAP Landscape Transformation. So using SLT, which is SAP Landscape Transformation, we can migrate data in real time. So you can migrate these objects from SAP and non-SAP systems to the new and the next generation platform using real time. So SLT is basically used to real time migration. So what is SLT? SLT stands for SAP Landscape Transformation. Now the second thing that we have is data services. So in data provisioning, we have different migration methods. One is using SLT, and the second one using data services. And third one using smart data access. Smart data access. So why should we go for data services? So we should go for data services when you want to migrate data in batch processing. Now what is batch? Batch means at the end of the day, or at the end of the month, or at the end of the week. So whenever you would like to migrate data in batch, then we go for data services. So the purpose of data services is to migrate in batch. And what is the smart data access? Now when do you go for smart data access? A smart data access is mainly to connect to non-SAP systems. Now this is mainly used to connect to non-SAP, only to non-SAP. It's called a smart data access, mainly connecting to a non-SAP system. And then you have flat files. So you can also use flat files. So if you have .csv files or Excel files, we can directly import these files to SAP HANA S4 HANA platform. So even you can import using flat files to the new platform. Okay, so once you do the data provisioning, so what do you mean by data provisioning? Data provisioning is nothing but to move data from source. Basically, you try to migrate objects from SAP or from non-SAP to the new platform, that is HANA S4 HANA, to the target. To do the real-time migration, we use SLT, SAP Landscape Transformation. To move migration in batch, we use data services. Only to a non-SAP system, we use smart data access. And flat files or Excel, we directly import to SAP HANA. Now, once you migrate data to SAP HANA S4 HANA, now what is that we need to do over here? Now we will start creating business scenarios. We start creating business scenarios. Scenarios related to logistics, scenarios related to finance, scenarios related to the various different applications in SAP. So once you create these business scenarios, what is the next thing? Now we need to integrate with the front end. What we need to do, integrate these business scenarios to the front end applications. Like what? You can integrate to the front end applications like Fury apps. So you can use Fury apps wherein you can create a sale order, you can create a purchase order, or you can run your MRP programs, you can do your configuration. So everything you can do it in Fury apps. So also I'm going to show you live on the system. So how all these systems are integrated with each other. So shortly I'm going to show you a demo wherein I'm going to show the entire integration of HANA S4 HANA with the SAP systems. Shortly I'm going to start with the demo. And then not only the Fury apps, you can integrate with a Design Studio. So you can integrate with mobile or iPad or iPhone. You can use web intelligence. It's called as WebI. You can use Lumira. Lumira is rich in analytics. It's very rich in analytics, which is known as Lumira. So you can use Lumira, you can use Design Studio, you can use Fury apps. And users are very much comfortable to connect to Excel. And you also have something called Analysis for Office. So using Analysis for Office, you can connect to HANA S4 HANA. Now this is nothing but the user interface. So this is the user interface. So here you create all the business scenarios and the configuration. And here we do the data migration. So what do you do in the data provisioning? We perform the migration part. SLT for real time, data services for batch. And once the migration takes place, we create the business scenarios and expose to the front end. Now this is on the sidecar scenario. Now what is main car? So in the main car, you have B4 HANA. Now B4 HANA is mainly for business analytics. All the business analytics is tightly integrated with SAP HANA and even the S4 HANA, which is simple fourth generation platform. So it is a new platform and the next generation platform where you can operate all your operational systems like logistics, finance, all the operations you can operate in S4 HANA, and B4 HANA is on the business analytics. Now, everything is seamlessly integrated to a unified platform, which is the HANA S4 HANA platform. You can run all your business operations, you can do real-time business analytics, you can do the real-time migration. So let me show you how the systems are integrated with each other. Let me log into system and show you. For participants to log into system, now in order to work on this environment, we can log into our environment using remote desktop. So click on the remote desktop. So participants need to enter this IP address. So every participant will have their own unique user ID and password. So they can enter their unique user ID and password, click connect. So every participant will have a user ID and password and it will be valid for 6 months. So let us give the password and click yes. Now once you click yes, now it is connecting to the remote desktop. I'm connecting to the remote system wherein I can see HANA, S4 HANA. We can see the old ECC systems. We can see Lumira, Analysis for Office, Fury apps, everything we can see over here. Now I'm logging into the remote desktop. So once you log into the remote desktop, let us log into the HANA Studio. Now what is HANA Studio? What is the meaning of HANA Studio? HANA Studio is the user interface to log into HANA system. So let us double click on the HANA Studio. So once you double click on the HANA Studio, so we are logging into the HANA Studio. So what is the HANA Studio? HANA Studio is the user interface to work on HANA system. So it is the HANA S4 HANA, the UI. Now here you can see there are different systems over here. So this is the development system, this is the QA, and here you find the production environment. So let us log into the development environment. To log into the development environment, right click on the system, click log on. The username is best and the password is W capital welcome 123. So provide the username and password and click OK. So once you click OK, so now we are logging into system. So once we log into system, once you log into the system, expand the catalog. Once you expand the catalog, now what is a catalog? Now here you see there are two important folders. One is a catalog and the other one is content. So this is called catalog and content. So what is a catalog? A catalog is a collection of schema. Once you expand the catalog, now here you find there are different schemas over here. For example, please see here you have a schema called best. And then expand the schema. So this is called a schema. So how did the schema got created? The schema got created by using SLT. So SLT can create the schema. So you see there is something called data provisioning over here on your right hand side. So using these data provisioning methods, I can create the schema, expand the tables. So once you expand the tables, so please see here, now here you find all the SAP tables. Let us go to any of the table. Let me go to any of the table over here. KNA1, which is a customer master table. Let us double click on the table. Please notice over here, now this table is a column store. You find this table is a column store. Click on runtime information. Now once you click on runtime information, now here the number of entries that you have is 19,583 entries are there. Now all these entries, the primary way to store data is in memory. The complete data is stored in RAM. It's in memory, so if you would like to see data, right click on the table and open data preview. So once you open data preview, so here we can see all the customer ID, name of the customer belongs to which country, and so on. So what I'm trying to say here is, in SAP HANA S4 HANA platform, the complete application data is stored in memory, and these store data in a column-oriented fashion. Now, first of all, how did we get these tables over here? Now, how did we get these tables into the new platform? Now, we got these tables to the new platform. Now, please see here. There's something called data provisioning. Now, what does the data provisioning do? Now, here, what is the data provisioning doing over here? It transfers the data from source, from an SAP system, to the new platform, that is HANA S4 HANA platform. So once I go back, I click on data provisioning, I select the system and click finish. Now once you click finish, now please see here. Now here you can see SLT. What is SLT? SAP Landscape Transformation. So using SAP Landscape Transformation, so here you can see, you can use these options like load, replicate, stop replication to migrate from an existing SAP or from a non-SAP systems to the new HANA S4 HANA platform. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to show you more details on the migration part in tomorrow's session, which just I'm trying to introduce to you. So here you have SLT, SAP Landscape Transformation, and then please see here on the front end part, you also have SAP Fiori apps. So let me log into the SAP Fiori. So let us log into the SAP Fiori apps, which is on the front end. So provide the username. Provide the username as best and password W capital welcome 123 and click log on. So once you log on, so here we can see the SAP Fiori apps where you can create a purchase order, display financial statement, manage profit centers, and here you see query browser. And also you can notice over here there are different configurations with regards to different applications like operational processing, general reporting, configuration, logistics, dispute, payments, customer accounts. So this is on the front end part. So this is on the Fiori apps. This is on the SAP Fiori, controlling master data configuration. So this is the front end part. Now, here you can also see you have SAP Lumira. What is SAP Lumira? SAP Lumira, so using the SAP Lumira, we can do rich visualizations. So in the SAP Lumira, you can have a rich visualization. So here we're starting the user interface for SAP Lumira. So it's starting the interface. So here you have the SAP Fiori, which is one user interface like creating purchase order, displaying financial statements. On the other side, you have SAP Lumira, which is another UI to have rich visualizations. So this is the SAP Lumira. So you can see countries by gross margin. So everything is it's so smooth. It's self-service. Countries by revenue. Heat maps. You can generate heat maps. Focus selling. Margins achieved by different managers. Sales, revenue, and gross margin. So here you can generate different pie charts. Heat maps. So this is Lumira is one of the user interface. So this is one of the UIs. So SAP Fiori is one UI and Lumira is another UI. So there are two user interfaces. So using the data provisioning, what we can do, so using the data provisioning like SLT, you can migrate data to SAP HANA S4 HANA platform. So it is basically moving to the new platform. And here you can generate business scenarios. Now please see. Now to generate these business scenarios, you can have different business scenarios. if you go to the HANA Studio, so HANA Studio is the user interface. So here you can see you can generate, if you go to the content, so once you go to the content, go to SAP. If you go to the SAP package, expand the SAP package, expand the HBA package, and here you can see S Finance, Simple Finance package, and here you can see business scenarios for different applications like accounting, billing, bill of materials, company code, conditions, controlling, cost center, customer, distribution channels. Now all these are different business scenarios. So just a quick recap what I'm trying to show you today's session. So in today's session, I was trying to show you, I started with a very simple introduction. If you have a table with 2 trillion records, you're asking a very simple question. In SAP HANA S4 HANA platform, it only takes 6 seconds. Why? It's a in-memory, it's a column orientation, it does massively parallel processing. It's completely in-memory platform, it's a column-oriented platform, and it does massively parallel processing. And then I was trying to explain, if you would like to move from an old platform to the new platform, we need to use the data provisioning using SLT, SAP Landscape Transformation, to do real-time migration, data services for batch, a smart data access to connect to non-SAP, and flat files. Directly you can import the files to SAP HANA S4 HANA. And then you create the business scenarios. And finally what you do, you integrate to the front end like Fury apps, Lumira. So this is nothing but the user interface. Now, what am I going to cover in this course content? So in this course, let me show you the course content. So tomorrow I'm going to continue this session. So I'm going to continue this session. In tomorrow's session, I'm going to show you how to do the migration process. It's a very interesting session. It's completely on the migration, how you can migrate from an SAP to SAP HANA S4 HANA platform. How we can do the real-time migration from the old platform to the new platform. That's what I'm going to focus on tomorrow's session. I'll show you in very, very detailed fashion how we can do the integration and how we can migrate from an old system to the new system. So coming to the course content, so in this course I'm going to cover a creation of attribute views. This is mainly for master data. Creation of analytic views. This is for transaction data. Creating calculation views. This can process both master and transaction. Best practices, performance optimization, how we can do the currency conversion, how we can transport objects, how to create currencies. Coming to the UI integration, integrating with Excel, HANA S4 HANA with Excel, Lumira, analysis for OLAP, Design Studio. Now this is all the UI integration. Now coming to the data provisioning. So how we can provision data. So where is data provisioning? Like SAP Landscape Transformation, data services, smart data access, moving from an old system to a new system using data provisioning, and then integrating to the front end. And then this is all creating for business scenarios. So using this you can create business scenarios. And then the architecture of SAP HANA, user management, how we can control data, users' roles, assigning privileges. And then I'm going to explain 2 projects in detail. And after this, I'll also make sure that every participant cleared the certification and get more than 80% in the certification. So shortly I will also show you the materials what I'm going to share with the participants. So this is on the BW4 HANA. This is on the BW4 HANA, the complete analytics, understanding SAP HANA Live, optimizing, creating composite providers, embedded analytics, describing the mixed scenarios, ABAP HANA, how we can use ABAP with SAP HANA, introduction to HANA Studio, guided performance analysis, and also the S4 HANA, logistics, order to cash management, plan to, so in the order to cash, creating sale order, plan to produce processing, purchase to pay processing, accounting, management accounting, and embedded analytics. So this is the entire course content. It will take 70 to 80 hours to complete the entire course content. So this is mainly to be a HANA S4 HANA consultant. So to get certified and to get more than 80% in the certification, let me show you some of the materials. So what materials I'm going to the participants. So every day, whatever the session I'm taking, now these sessions are recorded and distributed to the participants after 15 minutes. And here you can find the common materials. So here you can find all the assignments. I'm going to give more than 40 hours of assignments. And here you can see HANA materials, all the HANA related materials, and S4 HANA materials, S4 HANA, implementation scenarios, writing the certification for S4 HANA, resumes, interview questions. Also, there are two sets of materials. One is set 1 and set 2. Here you also find assignments, certification dumps, interview clearance documents, how to clear the interview HANA project. So in the project documents, so here I gather a lot of project documents. So I'm going to show you the end-to-end project implementation. So these are the documents and templates. So how we can do the project preparation, project kickoff, confirm installation, validate the solution, a realization phase, and then switch to quality assurance, test solution, set up the production environment, deploy the solution, switch to production, go live and support, and hand over the solution. So everything in detail, I'm going to walk through the entire 2 projects with a complete life cycle scenario. Now these are all the project related documents for S4 HANA, Finance, ABAP HANA. You find the interview questions, more frequently occurred errors. So all these materials will be provided to the participants, and you can write the certification and get more than 80% in the certification. So complete system access will be given to the participants for 6 months. The entire HANA S4 HANA 1610 edition, which is the latest version. 1709 edition is the latest version. And the HANA 2.00 version. And all these are latest versions. You'll get the system access for 6 months. So in tomorrow's session, we're going to discuss about how we can do the data migration, how to perform the data migration using SAP landscape transformation. Now suppose say you have an existing SAP system and now you would like to migrate using SLT to the new platform. How we can do this? I'm going to show you in detail step-by-step process on how this migration is possible and what happens after the migration. What are the things that you notice and how to start using the new systems that we are going to see in tomorrow's session. So please attend tomorrow's session. It is a very interesting session. So just in today's session, I was trying to briefly explain about what is HANA S4 HANA, how are the new landscapes, the sidecar scenario, main car scenario. Also, we're trying to show participants how participants will be able to access my system, how they'll be able to access the materials, and what is the course content. And tomorrow I'm going to show you the migration plot. So please attend the same time. You can attend the same link. So today and tomorrow we have the free sessions. And from Monday, the regular sessions will start. From Monday, the regular session will start. So please do attend today and tomorrow. The participants can join the same link. I once again thank all the participants to join today's session. Please also join tomorrow. It's a very interesting session. I'll show you the complete migration. And also, participants would like to talk to the trainer, or participants would like to ask any question to the trainer, please fill up the survey form. You can fill up the survey form. So we have a survey form. Participants can fill up the survey form at the end of the training. Participants can give details about the phone number, their email, and the question that they would like to ask to the trainer. The backend team will coordinate with the participants and connect the conference calls with the trainer. I once again thank all the participants to join today's session. Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all the participants to join today's session. Thank you. Thank you so much. And please join tomorrow. We'll start with the migration process tomorrow. I'll show you the detailed migration from 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. IST. Thank you all the participants. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Participants, please also fill up the survey form. At the end of the training, you have a form that gets open. So please kindly do fill up the survey form. It's just a feedback for the trainer, and also the backend team will try to process your information to connect to the trainer. Thank you.